Hi guys, we're back in Roblox, and today we're playing the Escape from Minions prison mode. Ready for an adventure?
Hi, friends. Yes, this is going to be fun. Imagine a prison full of minions. Who would have thought that these little yellow creatures could be so dangerous?
So, our first step is to get out of the cell. Look, we need to crawl through the ventilation duct. Oh, it's like in prison escape movies.
Exactly. Go ahead, Labrador. You go first. You have more experience with this stuff. Aha.
All right, here we go. Oh, it's pretty tight. Hey, Dobie, remember the last time you got stuck in the vents?
Ha! Right. That was in the Escape from the Asylum mode. Hopefully, these vents are wider. And here's the first boss, a huge minion with a laser gun.
Wow, he's a serious guy. Okay, I have a plan. We need to jump on the platforms, dodge his shots, and attack him with our bazooka.
Wow, and I thought minions only love bananas. Okay, jump, shoot. Oh no, he's aiming at me.
Dobie, take care of yourself. Shoot at his legs to slow him down. Yes, like that. We've almost defeated him.
Hooray! The first boss is down. But listen, what's that sound? It looks like we have trouble ahead. Another boss, Mega Minion with a shield and hammer.
Right, he looks tough. We need to be smart. Let's try to trick him and hit his weak spots when he lifts the shield.
Good plan, attack! Oh, look, he's swinging his hammer like Thor. Ha! I hope he's not as accurate.
Come on, Dobie, dodge. He's vulnerable when he attacks. Shoot him. Yes, we did it. He's defeated.
Whew, that was intense. But we made it. Labrador, do you remember how we used to watch Despicable Me as kids? Minions were always funny, and now they're real bosses.
You watched Despicable Me? The Minions are the coolest characters ever.
These little yellow guys are always at the center of all the funny situations. Have you guys watched this movie?
Yeah, I think everyone has. So, let's tell them what's going on here. We're in the secret base of the Minions. To escape, we need to complete a tough parkour and defeat 2 minion bosses. Sounds like a real challenge.
Wow, there are so many rusty pipes and platforms, they don't look very sturdy. Labrador, be careful not to fall.
I'm trying. Oh, I always said minions are jack of all trades, but their work isn't always perfect. Aha! Here's the first challenge. We need to jump over these moving platforms.
They probably made this to slow us down. By the way, remember how in Despicable Me, the minions were always repairing and inventing things? Looks like they've been busy here too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, look, up ahead is our first boss, a huge minion with a laser gun. This is going to be tough.
A huge minion? Maybe he just ate too many bananas? Haha. All right, let's focus. To defeat him, we need to dodge his shots and attack back.
Hey, Dobie, remember how we met the minions a week ago? That was unforgettable.
Oh yeah, how could I forget? Did you ever expect our ice cream trip to end up with meeting those yellow guys?
Not at all. We had just left the store when we saw one minion chasing another who was rolling a giant ice cream ball down the street. They're always so funny.
Haha, exactly. And remember how they invited us to help with their latest experiment? They messed up the instructions so much that we ended up exploding a bunch of popcorn in their lab.
Oh, it was a real popcorn rain. Good thing we managed to escape before Gru showed up. He wouldn't have been pleased.
Yeah, but the minions were thrilled. They even gave us a tour of their secret base. Remember how one of them tried to show us his new gadget, the banana blaster?
Oh yeah, and how the blaster, instead of shooting bananas, started spraying banana puree all over the place. We were in a sticky nightmare.
Uh-huh. Good thing we got cleaned up when they took us to the banana bath. I still can't believe they have a separate room just for washing bananas.
Minions and their quirks. But then they showed us their new project, a giant cleaning robot. That was something.
Yes, but the minions forgot to set it up properly, and it started chasing us with a giant mop. Good thing we managed to turn it off before it turned everything into chaos.
But the funniest part was when we decided to race on their little yellow cars. These cars look so cute, but driving them is a real challenge.
Haha, yeah, especially when they decided to turn on all the obstacles and traps. I still can't believe we made it through the Ring of Fire unscathed.
That was a real adventure. And finally, remember how they surprised us with a huge cake?
Oh yeah, except instead of cream, it had a whole kilogram of banana puree. But it was fun and delicious.
Dobie, remember how it all started? The minions showed up at our office with rocket blueprints, promising that with their help, we could travel across the galaxy. When we were tasked with building a rocket for galactic exploration, we didn't expect this project to become one of the toughest challenges in our careers. This whole story began with the arrival of the minions who offered their assistance. Who would have thought that these funny yellow creatures would turn out to be such tricksters?
Of course, Labrador. They seem so friendly and enthusiastic Their plans looked incredibly detailed, and we decided it was worth a try.
We started building the rocket at our police station. The minions took on most of the work since they were real experts in mechanics and electronics. Everything went smoothly, and the rocket was ready for launch in record time.
The launch day arrived, and we all gathered at the launch pad. The minions were so excited that we didn't suspect any deception. We launched the rocket and headed into space.
The first few days of the flight were amazing. We saw incredible planets and stars. But then, as we approached the first planet, the minions suddenly changed course and locked us in a compartment.
We were shocked. It turned out the minions planned to steal all the planets and resources to create their own empire. They deceived us to use our knowledge and resources for their purposes.
We had to come up with a plan quickly. We knew we had to stop them and regain control of the rocket. We began looking for weaknesses in the security system that could help us escape.
After several hours of intense work, we managed to hack the system and disable the locks. We broke out of the compartment and confronted the minions in the control center.
It was an epic battle. The minions used all their tricks and gadgets to stop us. But Dobie and I were stronger and smarter. We managed to take control of the rocket and set course back to Earth.
When we returned to Earth, we reported the minions' betrayal and their plans to steal planets. The minions were arrested and sent to prison for further investigation.
This experience taught us to be cautious and not trust everyone blindly. But most importantly, we were able to protect our world and our galaxy from danger once again.
Yes, Labrador, we did an important job. Now we know that even in need to stay vigilant, and who knows what other adventures await us in the future.
Dobie, remember how it all started? We were called to the city because the minions were causing chaos everywhere. When Dobie and I were tasked with investigating the criminal activities of the minions, we never expected that we would eventually meet their leader, Gru. Our goal was not only to stop the minions, but also to try to understand what drives Gru to behave the way he does.
Of course, Labrador. They were stealing, creating havoc, and disturbing everyone's peace. We quickly realized that someone more cunning and smart was behind all this.
We began our investigation and soon discovered Gru, who was the king of all minions. We were warned that he was very dangerous, but we decided to approach this case differently.
Yes, instead of arresting him right away, we decided to try talking to him. It was important to understand why he became like this, and if it was possible to reform him.
We went to his lair, and to our surprise, Gru wasn't all that bad. He was gruff, but in his eyes we could see weariness and disappointment.
It turned out that Gru was a genius who had simply lost faith in people due to past betrayals and disappointments. The minions had become a kind of family for him, one he never had.
We started meeting with him more often, trying to show him that not all people are bad. We told him stories about our childhood, about how important it is to have real friends.
One day we invited him to a picnic. It was an ordinary day, but for Gru, it became something new and special. We played games, laughed, and just enjoyed the time together.
Gradually, Gru began to change. He became more open and kind. The minions, seeing the change in their leader, also started behaving better.
Of course, it wasn't all smooth sailing. There were moments when Gru relapsed and became the old Gru again. But we didn't give up and continued to support him.
Eventually, Gru completely changed. He even started helping us with investigations and, along with the minions, began protecting the city from criminals.
It was a long and difficult journey, but we managed to turn Gru from an evil genius into a kind and caring person. He became our friend and ally.
We proved that everyone deserves a second chance. And with friendship and support, even the most hardened villains can change.
Yes, Labrador. And now our city is safer and happier, thanks to our new friend Gru and his minions.
After that tough parkour, we have to face the boss. Yeah, Labrador, especially with those yellow walls and giant bananas trying to knock us down. Who do you think came up with these traps? Must be some super brainy minion. They probably thought regular prisons were too boring.
Oh, it looks like this is the real boss. And we only have a bazooka to take him down. Labrador, are you ready?
Of course, I'm always ready for these adventures. Let's keep shooting at him before he turns us into banana salad.
Haha, banana salad. All right, Mega Minion Boss, take this.
Watch out for his attacks. He's throwing huge banana bombs.
Whoa, these bombs are definitely not from the store. Listen, we only have a few shots left. Aim carefully.
Absolutely. Hey, Dobie, Remember the last time we tried to escape from Nanny Betty? I think that was even harder.
Oh, for sure. But that's a story for another time. All right, guys. See you next time in the world of Roblox.
Hello, dear friends. It's your loyal buddies, Sheriff Labrador and Dobie, here with you.
Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to try to escape from the mad scientist school.
I think we can do it.
Oops! Looks like he's not as blind as we thought. Run!
We've confirmed that he's quite observant. Now let's find out how fast he can run.
Darn it, why is the whole hallway flooded?
Looks like the janitor spilled a bucket of water. Maybe he'll slip on it and hurt himself, which would work in our favor.
Looks like the janitor spilled a bucket of water. Maybe he'll slip on it and hurt himself, which would work in our favor.
I blinked and missed where he went. Turns out he went into the sewer to keep an eye on us.
It's strange how he got down the manhole so quickly. I won't even ask how he did it on one wheel.
You've got me thinking. What if there are multiple robot teachers, and they've all gone crazy and are hunting us simultaneously?
Good theory, Labrador. We still need to unravel the mysteries of this place. For now, let's focus on getting through these challenges. I wonder why they're in the school's sewer system.
You're right, Dobie. Let's get into the zone and focus on completing this. Right now, our task is to hold on tight to these platforms to avoid falling into the acid.
Great! We haven't wobbled once. I think that says a lot, like your excellent coordination. It's clear that your parkour training is paying off.
Oh, whoa! The current is pulling us along quickly.
Ugh, it's waste. Did you forget we're in the sewer?
Of course not. I try to avoid thinking about it and stay careful not to step in any unpleasant surprises.
Haha, what did you forget over there?
He's so close to the goal yet so far away.
Look, we're out of that stinky place. Let's see what other surprises this teacher has in store for us.
Oh no, we forgot to look around before crossing the road and got hit by a car.
Interesting thought. Maybe this crazy teacher actually wants to educate students, but just has a very unconventional approach to teaching.
Perhaps, but in any case, it was a clear demonstration of why it's important to cross the road at a crosswalk.
In the meantime, we've ended up in someone's pool. These inflatable rings are very slippery. Let's make sure not to get wet. We still have the final battle ahead.
Oh, this is definitely hot. Maybe we can find a way around it?
Looks like the developer didn't appreciate our ingenuity. Well, let's just jump over this steam. I think it's pretty straightforward.
You were right, we're already moving on to the next location.
It looks like we've ended up in the chemistry lab. Oh my gosh, who splattered all the reagents on the walls? I hope we don't touch them, or we might end up losing our tails.
We made it through. Let's keep moving forward.
Oops, did we turn the wrong way? We've been here before.
Let's try to find out where we need to go.
Great, it looks like we ended up exactly where we needed to go.
Oh no, it looks like we woke him up. Guys, write the correct answers to these problems in the comments, and let's see if we still know how to count.
Oh, my favorite, the multiplication table. It's definitely 4 here.
What luck we're having. Now we need to look for the key somewhere. I hope it wasn't at the very beginning.
I think I see something that looks like a button. Let's check what it does.
What if it's a fire alarm button and it will call the firefighters to rescue us?
Unfortunately, no. It seems like it just activated the school bell.
I didn't notice him at first. The bell attracted him, and he found our location. But the gates have opened. We just need to speed up a bit.
Phew, we were on the edge. I shudder to think what he might do to us.
Imagine if he had a section like Freddy from FNAF's Security Breach. Brr.
I don't want to think about it, or I'm afraid I'll remember it while we're running, and my paws will give out. It looks like we need a key. It says it's somewhere nearby. Let's find it.
It should be behind this building. Aha, got it.
Nice. I always knew we had a good nose and intuition.
Very curious about what awaits us ahead.
It's been a while since we had a battle. I think there's a lot more interesting stuff ahead.
Well, why guess when we can see everything ourselves right now?
And here's a new character. I understand this is also a robot, and she can cook. Very convenient.
I completely agree with you. Hey, Dobie, have you ever wondered what it would be like if we had robots in real life, like in the game Detroit, become human?
Oh, that would be incredible. Just imagine how much we could achieve with such androids. They could help us with investigations, handle routine tasks, and even assist in emergency situations.
Exactly. I think having such robots would significantly ease our work. Remember when we played as Connor? He was an excellent detective, and his abilities were simply amazing.
Of course, I remember. Playing as Connor was one of the most exciting parts of the game. He wasn't just a robot, he was a true partner. We could use his analyzer to find clues and quickly solve complex cases.
Yeah, that was so cool. I remember us conducting investigations and gathering evidence at crime scenes. The moment when we found a key clue that helped solve the case was especially memorable.
Exactly. And then there were those moments when we had to make important decisions that affected the fate of the characters and the entire plot. It added a special atmosphere and tension to the game.
You know what else I liked? How the game made us think about morality and ethics. The questions raised in the game were very relevant. What is the place of robots in society? Should they have rights like humans?
Absolutely. The game made us ponder how we relate to technology and how far we're willing to go in its development. If we had robots like in Detroit become human, we would have to address many ethical and moral questions.
Right. But despite all the challenges, it would be great to have such helpers. They could assist us in various situations and maybe even become our friends.
Who knows? Maybe in the future, we will actually see such technology. For now, we can enjoy the game and dream about how cool it would be if Connor existed in real life.
Agreed, Dobie. Detroit, Become Human is not just a game. It's a whole world that makes us think about the future. Playing as Connor allows us to imagine what our future could be like.
Meanwhile, we've already gone through enough challenges, and I feel that the final boss battle is just around the corner.
Given our intuition today, this must be the battle room.
Not surprising anymore. I might just buy myself a couple of lottery tickets after we defeat this crazy teacher and escape from here.
He's such a crazy robot that he crafted an upgraded version of himself capable of taking on anyone. But we're sheriffs. We've faced tougher challenges before.
Look, we need to hit his legs with the bat. It seems like that's the weak spot of this robot.
Interesting. Is it really a robot? Or could it actually be a metal suit over the teacher robot? If that's the case, it's a very clever design, but also quite fragile.
In that case, I want to put forward my theory. I think he created a copy of himself. But since he's a robot, he has access to all internet resources. And there, he learned how to transfer his mind into another metal body. It's very exciting.
Hooray! We defeated him. Hey, how boldly they tricked us. Dobie, your theory sounds like the plot of a good movie. I'd watch it. Have you ever thought about becoming a screenwriter?
Honestly, I've always had a vivid imagination, but I've noticed that I'm best at helping people. Plus, in our line of work, a creative approach never hurts.
Let's go. We almost got him. He's got just a little HP left.
He's quite clumsy and slow-witted. We've just been circling around him the whole time.
We finally killed it. Got it.
You're right. We've destroyed him, not just taken him down. Anyway, now the students of this school can sleep peacefully.
You're right. This adventure has been unforgettable. But unfortunately, it's come to an end. Thank you for joining us, dear friends. But don't be sad. Right now, we're starting a new one in a different place. Well, boys and girls, are you ready? Hello, everyone. Today we will find out which gender is better. Just to clarify, I am not talking about the floor we stand on, but about boys and girls.
Hello, subscribers. Labrador, your jokes are not funny, but don't worry. Today there will be a lot of cool jokes from me. So, who is actually better? Boys or girls? We will find out today.
Dobie, what do you think? Personally, I think girls are stronger than boys, but I have an idea to check who is better. Dobie, do you know how to check this?
Yes, Labrador. I understand what you mean. But wait a moment. We are doing a parkour challenge through the ventilation system. It's very cold in this room, like a freezer where ice cream is stored. So guys, now you will participate in a very important survey, and we will finally understand who is better.
All the girls, I love and respect you very much, so right now subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. Through the statistics, we will find out who there are more of and who won our competition.
So, Labrador, do you think your girls will win? All the boys, urgently subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. I am sure there are more boys. Boys, I personally hope for your victory, and I hope you will win.
Dobie, this is the fairest contest, and through the statistics, we will find out who is better. Everything is completely fair, but everyone needs to participate. By the way, Dobie, did you notice what mode we are playing? It's called Boys vs. Girls. A cool name.
As I understand it, in this mode, there are also statistics that show who completes it faster. I'm participating, and I will play for the boys, and you for the girls.
Ha 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 ha. It's so funny how we're fooling this guard. Let's zap them with the taser. Ha ha ha. The guard is a girl and she fell down. It's hilarious. Girls, don't be offended. It just looks really funny.
Yes, Labrador, but you probably forgot about our race. I'm leading for now. so I suggest you start moving to catch up with me.
I'm already going through the ventilation, or rather, I've already passed it. We have a bathroom here, which leads us to hell. It's called that because we fall right into the center of the earth where there's lava. And some Bob the Builder built a parkour course there.
One mistake there could cost us our lives, so it's important to pass this parkour very carefully. Don't worry, guys, I'll get through this part very quickly. I have special donated items in my inventory.
Hey, Dobie, now that doesn't sound fair. I'm gonna use them for the win too. I will do anything to win. Although my coach, the sheriff, said that the important thing is not the victory, but the participation, I don't believe him. I really love winning.
All right, I've passed the parkour, and I see you have too, Labrador. Next, there's a big ball that wants to crush us. It's such a shame that we have to spend a lot of time waiting for it to roll by. This is the longest challenge.
Yes, Dobie, we will have to wait a long time. Subscribers. Dobie can't hear me right now, but I came up with a way to get through this quickly using a jetpack. By the way, I've always wondered where that big ball comes from.
Labrador, where are you? I can't see you at all. I hope you didn't get past this part using some secret paths. After all, we are having an honest competition. Subscribers, I hope you're watching closely because you are our judges today.
I'm not cheating. I'm using the items you allowed me to use, specifically the donor items. By the way, that energy drink was so delicious. Now my character is super fast, just like Flash. Dobie, where are you? I've already passed the key guard in that long staircase. Ahead of me is the most difficult and fastest parkour. Dobie, look at that challenging parkour ahead. But I'm sure the girls would get through it faster.
Oh, Labrador, don't make me laugh. Boys always do better. I'll prove it to you right now. Let's go.
Well, we'll see, Dobie. Girls are always more attentive and careful. They would have already jumped onto these platforms without any problems.
No way. Boys are more decisive and faster. Look, I'm already halfway through. Haha, where are you?
You're just rushing, Dobie. Girls would have already taken a break at this stage and had a sandwich. They know how to enjoy the moment.
A sandwich, you say? Well, if boys stop, it's only to eat pizza. But I'm still faster. Oops, almost fell.
Haha, be careful, champ. Girls would have already run this parkour on the first try. They are more enduring.
Don't forget, Labrador, boys always find new ways and solutions. For example, this jump can be made with a running start.
Wow, not bad, Dobie. But girls would find the safest path. They think about the consequences.
Maybe, Labrador, but boys aren't afraid to take risks. Look how I jump over this chasm. Yoo-hoo!
I drank some cocktail and now I'm like Supergirl, running very fast and jumping very high. But you might ask why I'm saying Supergirl and not Superman? Dobie, let's tell them something.
Guys, by the way, we've already debated who is better while sitting in our favorite cafe. Labrador and I started this argument. It all began with a simple conversation about who is better, boys or girls. I argued that boys are, of course, better.
And I naturally sided with the girls. We had so many arguments that the debate could have gone on forever. But then I remembered an amazing story that I thought could help us resolve this dispute.
Ah, yes. The story about those superheroes who once came to save our city. That was an incredible day. Just when everything seemed lost, two shining figures appeared in the sky. Superman and Supergirl.
Exactly. I remember how Superman was the first to rush to help, rescuing people from burning buildings and preventing collapses. His strength and speed were simply amazing. Every action he took was an example of bravery and courage.
Yes, Superman was impressive. But don't forget about Supergirl. She was just as remarkable. Remember how deftly she dealt with the destruction and saved people trapped under rubble? Her ability to work in a team and find quick solutions in critical situations was invaluable.
I agree, Supergirl was incredible. She inspired with her determination and compassion. That day, they both showed that heroism has no gender. Their joint efforts saved our city from destruction.
Exactly. Looking at them, we realized that each of them was important and irreplaceable. Superman and Supergirl worked together, complementing each other. They showed us that what matters is not who you are, boy or girl, but what you do and how you help others.
That incident taught us that in life, the main thing is actions and deeds, not gender. Both boys and girls can be true heroes.
So, Labrador, our argument is meaningless. We are both right. The main thing is to be kind, strong, and ready to help when needed. Although, let's remember more stories and maybe we'll find out who is better. And you guys, don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
Dobie, remember that day when our city fell into the hands of a mad scientist and his scientist companion?
Of course, Labrador. That day was a real trial for us. It all started with strange occurrences throughout the city. People began reporting mystical phenomena, disappearing objects, mysterious sounds at night, even dreams that seemed like reality.
Exactly, Dobie. The city's residents were frightened and confused, and only we, Sheriffs Dobie and Labrador, became this city's last hope.
We started investigating and soon discovered that two mad scientists were behind it all. A man known as Dr. Diablo and his accomplice, Dr. Malevolent, were competing to create the perfect prank that could scare everyone to shivers.
Dr. Diablo was a specialist in chemicals and gases. He developed a concoction that made things disappear before people's eyes or transform into something unexpected. Dr. Diablo was a specialist in chemicals and gases. He developed a concoction that made things disappear before people's eyes or transform into something unexpected.
And Dr. Malevolent was a brilliant mechanic. She created devices that emitted eerie sounds and projected ghosts.
Our first encounter with them was full of dangers. They activated their terrifying inventions and began terrorizing the city.
We realized we needed to act fast. We tracked them to their secret hideout, an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. There, they found the perfect place for their experiments.
Exactly! Our investigation led us to discover a secret laboratory complex in the heart of the city. There we found two mad scientists, a man and a woman, who were competing to create horrifying experiments.
The man, resembling a mad professor with a long white beard, focused on creating creatures from myths and legends. He even managed to revive several ancient monsters that chase people through the streets.
And the female scientist was a master of psychological experiments. She used ultrasonic signals to provoke alarm and paranoia among the city's residents. People began seeing and hearing strange things, driving them mad with fear.
We infiltrated their lair and a real battle ensued. Dr. Diablo and Dr. Malevolent tried to scare us with their inventions, but we didn't give in. With our experience and resourcefulness, we managed to defeat them.
That's how we saved our city from evil intentions and restored peace to the people. May heroes always be ready to protect their citizens.
Labrador, essentially, we've completed this level. You defeated both bosses very quickly. The first boss was a chef who couldn't handle your lasers and burst because he or she had a very large belly. I still couldn't figure out if it was a man or a woman.
Yeah, Dobie, the second boss, the Titan, also couldn't withstand my laser and shattered into pieces. I didn't even have to use the bazooka to defeat him. Have you seen how high I can jump now and how fast I've become? I've become a real Superman.
Friendship prevailed, guys. See you soon.
Hi, guys. Today, Dobie and I have entered the Roblox mode, Escape from Babysitter Betty's Nursery. Don't forget to like and comment.
Hi. So, Labrador, we're in the nursery, and it's pretty boring here. Looks like Betty is on the phone. A perfect moment to escape.
Yeah, Betty isn't usually very attentive, but if she gets angry, she becomes a real monster. We need to act quickly and carefully. Hey, do you remember that there's also the janitor Ben?
Of course. Ben is always running around the corridors with his huge mop. He probably dreams of catching us and sending us back to the nursery.
All right, let's start. Look, we need to crawl through this hole in the wall. Hey, Dobie, don't get stuck there.
Aha! I almost thought I was stuck. But no, I made it through. Wow, look, there's a whole maze of toys here. Is that a giant teddy bear?
Yeah, exactly. Let's pass by it and carefully go down this slide. I hope it's not too slippery. Oh, I almost fell.
Ha! Watch your step, Labrador. Hey, what do you think if Betty were a superhero? What would her superpower be?
I think she could teleport so she could instantly appear next to us and send us back to the nursery. What do you think?
I think her superpower would be sleepy dust. She would put all the kids to sleep instantly so they wouldn't escape. Oh, look, there's Ben with his mop.
Quick, hide behind this bed. Oh, Ben, you have no idea how close we are to you. Ha!
Whew, that was close. Now let's go through this pillow tunnel. By the way, what if Ben were the main character in a horror movie?
That would be something. The movie would be called Killer Mop Ben Returns. Ha! All right, just a bit more. Let's get to the exit quickly.
I see the door. We just need to get past this builder block and we're free. Hey, look, Betty is back. I hope she didn't see us.
All right, Dobie. Our task is to build a tower out of blocks to climb over this playpen fence. Look, I've already started. Hand me a couple more blocks.
Got it, Labrador. Here are some more blocks. By the way, do you remember how we used to escape from our babysitter when we were kids? She always made us take naps, but we just wanted to play.
Oh, of course I remember. We used pillows as steps to climb out the window. Good times. But now we've got a similar challenge. Almost done. Climb up.
Climbing up. I hope these blocks hold. Whoa, they're wobbling. Hold on tight, Labrador. Who made it? Now we need to build a block tower to reach the ventilation. This pile will do.
Look, there's the ventilation. I'm sure Ben is there. He's always on guard. Haha, he's like our watchdog, but with a mop. Let's get to work. Blocks in place.
Oh, Ben in the ventilation is just hilarious. I remember once he chased us with his mop when we tried to steal some cookies. He should be reminded of that. All right, climbing up.
I'm right behind you. Hey, look, there's Ben. He spotted us. Dobie, do you have a plan?
Of course, let's remember our childhood tricks. Remember how we set up obstacles? We'll do the same now. Let's throw blocks at him and make a run for it.
Great idea. Take this, Ben. Here's a block. Faster, Dobie. There's the ventilation door. Push it.
Hooray, we did it. Whew, we're out. Labrador, as always, you're the best. Remember how we used to escape as kids?
Of course I remember. That time when you put a pillow under the door to keep it from creaking, and then we quietly slipped out into the garden. Ha ha!
And the babysitter was looking for us all over the house while we hid in the bushes eating raspberries. That was so much fun.
When Dobie and I were little, our parents decided to have an evening without kids and hired a babysitter to look after us. We got the address and went there ourselves since our street was safe and our parents thought we could handle it. Unfortunately, we got the address wrong.
Yes, Labrador, I remember how it was. We approached the house that we thought was the right one. The door opened, and a tall man in a white apron with a butcher knife in his hand stood before us. We were a bit confused, but decided he must be our babysitter since the address matched.
We entered the house and immediately felt uneasy. The kitchen had large knives hanging everywhere, and there were chunks of meat all around. We noticed a refrigerator that looked suspicious. When he opened it to grab something, we saw jars with what looked like eyes.
I remember how scared I was. Labrador and I started whispering, thinking this guy was a real murderer. He kept playing with the knife and gave us strange looks. We couldn't believe our parents sent us to such a person.
We decided we had to get out of there somehow. But when we tried to leave, he suddenly asked us what we were doing. I almost screamed in fear, but then I pulled myself together and said we wanted to take a little walk.
To our surprise, he let us go. We left the house and ran as fast as we could. We decided to go back home and tell our parents what happened. When we finally got home, Mom and Dad looked worried.
They immediately knew something was wrong. We explained what happened and they realized they had given us the wrong address. The real babysitter was waiting for us at a house on another street.
Dad decided to go back to that house and figure out what was going on. When he returned, he was laughing. It turned out that the man was a local chef preparing for a big banquet. Those eyes in the refrigerator were just pickled olives and cherries.
We laughed about it for a long time, but that incident taught us to be more careful. Ever since then, every time we see a chef with a knife, we remember that day and laugh.
It was one of those childhood adventures that stayed with us for life. Sometimes scary things turn out to be completely harmless. The main thing is not to lose your head and stay brave. Guys, don't forget to like and comment.
Dobie and I were at our station when we received an urgent call. All the babysitters in the world had suddenly started a revolt and taken over one of the daycares in our town. We quickly geared up and headed to the scene. It was hard to believe what could have caused such chaos.
When we arrived, we were met with a strange sight. Babysitters, usually so calm and caring, now looked like an army ready for battle. They had barricaded the entrance to the daycare and were shouting slogans. Some were holding toys like weapons, while others waved around diapers.
We approached cautiously, trying not to provoke more aggression. I attempted to start a conversation with the head babysitter, who seemed to be leading the revolt. She was elderly and stern, but determination shone in her eyes.
She responded that the babysitters were demanding better working conditions and higher wages. They felt undervalued and overworked. This was a full-blown babysitter revolution.
We realized the situation was serious and a peaceful solution was necessary. We suggested forming a committee to address the babysitters' issues and promised to relay their demands to the city authorities. But to do this, they needed to end the revolt and vacate the daycare.
The head babysitter thought it over and agreed. She believed we genuinely wanted to help. We arranged a meeting with the mayor and representatives from the education department to discuss the babysitters' demands.
At the meeting, the babysitters were able to voice their concerns and complaints. The mayor listened attentively and promised to take steps to improve their working conditions. It was decided to increase their salaries, improve their work schedules, and provide additional resources to aid them in their tough job.
After these negotiations, the babysitters calmed down and returned to their duties. The daycare reopened, and the children happily welcomed their babysitters back. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent the conflict from escalating and find a solution that satisfied everyone.
That day showed us how important it is to listen to people and help solve their problems. Even peaceful professions like babysitters can revolt if they are not heard. We learned to appreciate their work even more.
Yes, Labrador, it was an important lesson for all of us. We're glad we could help the babysitters and restore order in our town.
One morning, Dobie and I were at our station when we suddenly received a strange and unusual call. The message stated that a volcano had erupted in the city center, spewing money. We couldn't believe our ears, but we decided to head to the scene and figure out what was happening.
When we arrived, we saw an incredible sight. In place of the old fountain, there was now a real volcano, spewing money instead of lava, bills, coins, gold bars. A crowd of people had gathered around, trying to catch as much money as possible, and chaos ensued.
Dobie and I realized the situation was getting out of control. People were pushing, arguing, and even fighting over the money. We had to intervene quickly to prevent a disaster. I took out a megaphone and started calming the crowd, urging everyone to move to a safe distance and avoid creating a stampede.
Meanwhile, I tried to figure out where this strange volcano came from. We noticed a scientist in a white lab coat nearby, observing the scene intently. I approached him and asked what was going on.
The scientist introduced himself as Dr. Finch and explained that he was conducting an experiment to create a source of infinite wealth. He didn't expect the experiment to get out of control and lead to a money volcano eruption. He was extremely worried and ready to help us solve the problem.
Dr. Finch and I quickly devised a plan to shut down the volcano. He explained the steps we needed to take to safely stop the eruption. While Labrador continued to manage the crowd, Dr. Finch and I worked on deactivating the machine that powered the volcano.
The work was complex and required precision, but we managed it. When the last safety switch was turned off, the eruption stopped, and the volcano began to quiet down. People calmed down, and we were able to restore order.
Dr. Finch thanked us for our help and promised not to conduct any more experiments without proper safety measures. Labrador and I were pleased that we could prevent a disaster and bring order back to the city.
We completed the mode. See you next time. Hi everyone, guys and girls. Today, Dobie and I will be playing Peppa Pig. What's our first challenge, Dobie?
Yeah, hi everyone. Let's get started already. Why are you standing around for so long? Our first challenge is the floor is lava. It's easy. Just don't touch the floor to avoid dying in Roblox.
Dobie, I think all the subscribers already know what the floor is lava is. Do you see these beautiful figures here? They seem to be from the actual cartoon about the fat pig Peppa and her dumb brother George.
Ha ha ha. How did you die in such an easy part? Quit this game. It's too hard for you, Sheriff.
Ha 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 ha. You died there yourself. All right, my bro, let's get through this part quickly without any silly jokes. At the end, there's a robber who robbed Peppa Pig's house, and we need to catch and punish him.
Really? Then I'll speed up now. I hope there won't be any scary moments at the end. I don't really like scary games. Wait, Sheriff Labrador, what mode are we gonna play in the next video?
The next map will be the scariest one we've ever played. By the way, don't fall off the controller. There's acid below. I hope we meet all the characters from Peppa Pig today. I want to meet them. It's been my dream since childhood.
Did you see those funny characters from the cartoon? The creator did a great job making them. Wow, flying knives with blood? I wonder whose blood that is. I hope it's not Peppa Pig's or her brother George's. Oh, you see Daddy Pig sitting at the table there? He is really fat.
Yeah, I saw. Don't distract me for now. This fruit parkour is really tough. I'll wait for you, and then we'll go into this scary and smelly vent.
Now I've almost passed it. Everyone rushed into this ventilation. I hope we'll pass through it quickly.
Oh no, I fell into the pig's mouth. He ate me. Can you hear me? The pig ate me like a tasty cookie. I didn't think those pigs eat animals too. We're dogs after all.
Hello, it's Dobie. Can you hear me? I'm still falling towards you. It's really high up here. Wait for me a bit. Oh, I'm here now. I thought I'd never see you again. It's good that the pig didn't swallow us, but what's that hole down there? Should we jump?
I crashed, Dobie. Are you sure we should jump here? I saw acid there. Looks like it's his stinky stomach. There's a lot of different food there. How does so much fit inside him? But he's Daddy Pig. I wonder when George grows up, will he become as fat as Daddy Pig?
Wow, it's so beautiful here. Lots of delicious food, burgers, pizza, cookies. I'm really hungry. Maybe we should stay here and eat burgers. But no, it's dangerous. What if he wants to go to the toilet and all this food starts digesting? We need to escape from here quickly, Sheriff Labrador. Are you ready to run away from here as fast as you can?
Of course, I'm ready. We need to run away from here faster. Do you see that red hole at the end? I think we should run towards it. It's the only way to survive. I didn't expect it to be so scary inside Daddy Pig's stomach. Now I understand what you feel, Dobie, when you play horror maps.
Oh, a familiar challenge. Let's make a bet. If one of us dies, they won't be sheriff anymore. How about that? Although, you're a noob in Roblox, so maybe we can just bet on the title of the best sheriff in the world.
My bad, Dobie. I must have been mistaken. It was so easy. I passed it on the first try. Where are you anyway? We'll face even tougher challenges ahead, so we need to hurry. And by the way, do you remember you wanted to tell some scary story?
It was a cool evening in Mapleville when Sheriff Dobie woke me up from my warm bed with a call about a school invasion. Instantly, I roused my loyal partner, Sheriff Labrador, and we headed to the scene in our patrol car. As we approached the school, we noticed several cars parked outside the entrance. Something strange was happening here. Upon entering the building, we saw the glow of flashlights and heard quiet whispers. We stealthily approached the source of the sound and caught a group of teenagers bustling with cameras and lighting. "What are you doing here?" I asked, shining my flashlight on their faces. The teenagers jumped and turned towards us. It turned out they were YouTubers planning to spend 24 hours inside the school for their channel. They explained that it was their experiment, and they were curious how long they could evade detection. We kept an eye on the teenagers and concluded that it was just a prank, but it was important to return them to their parents and explain that such actions could be dangerous. As we drove them home, we made sure they understood their mistake and promised not to repeat such behavior.
Yes, I remember it as if it were yesterday. How good and fun it was to be the sheriff. I recalled another story. We got a call about a fireworks warehouse fire that woke us up. Me, Sheriff Labrador, and my faithful partner Dobie, immediately realizing that it was a serious matter. We quickly gathered ourselves and hurried to the scene. On the way to the warehouse, we saw flickering lights in the sky, rising higher and higher. It was so strange. Our little town rarely encountered such incidents. When we arrived, a crowd had gathered around the burning building, and firefighters were already trying to contain the blaze. We had to act fast. Dobie and I circled the perimeter to check if there were any other suspicious individuals nearby. In the backyard of the warehouse, we found a suspicious person trying to hide in the shadows. "Stop! Police!" I shouted, lunging forward. The suspect attempted to flee, but Dobie quickly intercepted him and grabbed his arm. It turned out to be a dragon with eyes full of fear. We led him away from the fire and interrogated him. He confessed to setting the warehouse on fire, although it was meant to be just a prank. He didn't expect the fire to escalate so quickly out of control. We detained him and handed him over to the authorities.
I remember that little dragon. Every day, my firefighter cousin would call me saying their house was on fire. It's a good thing our mayor allocated a separate air house for them, which wouldn't harm society. I actually wanted to tape his mouth shut back then, because young dragons can't control their fire breath. Do you remember that moment when we were about to go on patrol, but everything changed when we got a call from Daddy Pig? He was in a panic and told us that their children were missing. We reacted immediately and headed to Daddy Pig's house. There we were greeted by Mommy Pig, who was in tears. It turned out that their two children, Peppa and George, had gone out for a walk and hadn't returned on time. We began organizing a search. We had to comb through the entire neighborhood, search parks, forests, and even check some places they were known to go. But every time we thought we found a clue, it turned out to be useless. Finally, as it started to get dark, we decided to check the sheep's house, which was known for its delicious pies. We were so focused on the search that we didn't even consider the possibility that the children might be there. To our surprise, George and Peppa were at the sheep's house, sitting at the table and enjoying pie. It turned out they had gotten lost on the way and accidentally ended up at the sheep's house. He found them and decided to treat them until they found their way home. With relief, we took the children back to their parents. But it's a pity I didn't get to play with them then, because a new urgent call came in.
That's exactly how it was. That's why today we're going through the Peppa Pig mode. How do you like this Lego parkour? The challenges are getting harder and harder. I remember when we first started our service in the small town of Mapleville. It was early evening when our radios crackled with the first call. The voice on the other end was anxious. Someone had spotted suspicious figures near the old abandoned barn on the outskirts of town. We immediately headed to the location.
We quickly gathered our gear and headed to the old barn. The road was quiet, but my heart was beating faster than usual. This was our chance to show what we were capable of. As we approached the barn, I noticed that the headlights illuminated the old building, covered in moss and surrounded by thick undergrowth. We got out of the car and, holding flashlights in our hands, began to approach the barn.
We carefully surveyed the area around the barn. Everything seemed quiet. Too quiet. Suddenly, we heard a rustling from inside. I gestured to Dobie to follow me. We slowly moved towards the barn door. When we opened the door, our flashlights revealed several figures in the darkness. These were teenagers who froze instantly upon seeing us. It turned out they were just looking for a place to have a party away from adults.
At first, I felt relieved, realizing there was no serious threat. But then I decided we needed to have a serious talk with the teenagers. We explained to them that abandoned buildings can be dangerous and that it's best to find safe places to meet.
As we returned to the station, I felt proud of how we handled our first call. Yes, it was something simpler than we might have expected, but what mattered was how we acted together, as a team. Well, Dobie, I said as we drove back, looks like we did it. Yes, Labrador, he replied, smiling. That was just the first step. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and I'm ready for every challenge.
Wow, we most likely have completed everything already. That was easy.
Our adventures are really cool indeed. We went through this map pretty quickly, and now we're already at the finale.
All right, guys, we'll meet tomorrow on the scariest map.
I hope you'll be ready, Dobie. Bye, everyone. Hello, everyone. Dear subscribers, today in the video, I, Sheriff Labrador, and Dobie will be escaping from the chubby policeman. I'll let you in on a secret. Last night, I was jumping on his belly like it was a trampoline.
Yes, guys. Hello, everyone. This ventilation is so stinky, it's never been cleaned. Hey, Labrador, why don't you call me Sheriff? I'm your partner, after all.
You haven't earned it yet. You're a coward. You're even scared to complete this girly map. Where did these lasers come from? Who put them here anyway, the dumb creators?
You're the coward. The next episode will be on the scariest map in Roblox. Let's see who the real coward is. Don't forget to wear a diaper and call your mommy.
Okay, let's calm down. We need to get through this minefield. It's not just your butt that could get blown up. These mines look just like the subscribe button. So don't forget to hit it and ring the bell, dear friends.
Careful, Sheriff Labrador. There's that belly guy you were jumping on like a trampoline. Don't let him see you.
Ha ha ha. Dobie, you're scared of everything again. What's he gonna do to us, fart in our faces? Watch and learn how to escape. I used to run away from the principal like this when I broke a window with a soccer ball in school. Ah, those were the days. Not like now. Dobie, remember when your backpack got flushed down the toilet?
It was a belly kid just like the one chasing us now. Where do we run next? It's really high, and there are lots of lasers. Do you know the way?
This really reminds me of the school bathroom, Dobie. Let's look for your backpack. Ha 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 ha. I wonder how that belly guy uses the bathroom. He wouldn't be able to get through these lasers.
Look, Sheriff Labrador, there's a shovel over there. Grab it and clean up after the prison warden, nicknamed Belly. Look, there's a hole dug in this stall. Let's use our dog instincts. Just make sure not to dig like this in Minecraft.
The main thing is that we don't fall into lava. Ah, we're lucky. Let's look for diamonds here.
Whoa, there's a parkour section here. You've been a pro at this since school. I bet if you fall, I won't be sheriff anymore. Ah, it's super easy. It doesn't count. Look, these are old wooden planks. They might break under your feet, so be careful.
Whoa, did you see that? Not that I doubted myself. Look at that gigantic skull. It probably belonged to the Belly policeman's mom. Ha ha ha! Now let's go find his dad.
Let's do that later. We should hurry. Just make sure not to get impaled on a spike. There are so many traps here. Ah, a giant boulder is rolling towards us. Let's go back. Why is there a tunnel like this? Come on, hurry up. I feel uneasy.
You're getting nervous again. Calm down, Dobie. You should have worried about the underwear you forgot to wear when we swam with the whole class in the school pool. Ha ha ha. Look, there's a guard over there. Judging by the smell, he's been sitting in this unventilated room for ages, farting.
Oh no, he's gonna catch us. See, I told you this would happen.
Enough whining, Dobie. Everything's fine. We haven't lost anything. The gates are open. We just need to pass by the guard. Just make sure not to fall into a trap. Let me tell you a truly scary story. Once I was patrolling a small neighborhood on the edge of the city. It was usually quiet there, but not that night. There wasn't a single star in the sky, and the moon was blood red. As I drove past a small abandoned house on the outskirts, I heard strange, eerie sounds coming from it. Approaching closer, I caught a whiff of decay and saw strange shadows through a broken window. I entered the house, and the silence was ominous. In the corner, I noticed an antique mirror covered in dust. When I looked into it, instead of my reflection, I saw black eyes pulling me towards them. Everything around me darkened, and I found myself in a cold place, surrounded by strange figures whispering something. Suddenly, I heard a voice. "Wake up, Sheriff Labrador!" I opened my eyes and saw an old man with terror-filled eyes. "You've seen them, haven't you?" he whispered. "They're waiting." The old man disappeared and I ran out of the house, not looking back. Now, passing by, I always feel someone's gaze on me. Those creatures are still there, and they're waiting for their moment.
Wow, that's an interesting story, but I doubt you just came up with it. Look, we're where the prisoners communicate with their families. We need to get into the ventilation. Oh, this is the room of that chubby guy. Let's borrow the ladder from him. Seems like we have a problem. The ladder doesn't fit through the door frame.
This situation reminds me of when you got stuck in the locker in the school locker room. We even had to call the firefighters.
One night, I was patrolling a school with my colleagues. There were rumors that students had been disappearing from this school, so we were asked to keep an eye on it. At first, everything seemed fine, and we were even annoyed at spending time on what we thought were childish fantasies. But then our opinion changed. When night fell, the school turned into a place filled with mystery and fear, rustling sounds, things falling, strange flickering shadows. All of it made us nervous. We felt like someone was constantly watching us. Sometimes, it seemed like we saw human figures before our eyes and even heard whispers in the dark. As we passed by the chemistry lab, we heard a loud bubbling sound coming from inside. We exchanged looks, and I was the first to burst in. Inside it was empty, but the air was filled with a coldness, as if something sinister had reached us. For a moment, I saw something strange in the corner of the room, but when we got closer, it was just an old, empty chair. We continued our patrol, but every time we turned around, it felt like someone was watching us from the shadows. The further we went, the more we were gripped by fear. Finally, we reached the administrative wing. As we approached the door, we heard a faint but distinct whisper. It was enough to make our fur stand on end. We looked at each other and decided we had enough. We ran to the exit, the light outside filling us with relief. In the morning, when the sheriff asked us about our patrol, we told him everything. He smiled and didn't believe us.
Dobie, that's a really scary story. I hope you didn't wet your pants when you entered the chemistry lab. Do you remember this story? I, Sheriff Labrador, immediately realized the situation was serious. Together with my loyal partner Dobie, we rushed to the scene. When we arrived at the bank, chaos reigned on the streets. People were running out of the building, holding their noses and coughing. It quickly became clear that skunk robbers had broken into the bank. They used their natural weapon, an incredibly foul smell, to paralyze everyone inside. Dobie and I knew we had to act quickly. We were given gas masks so we could enter without risking our health. Putting on the masks, we entered the building. The stench was unbearable, but our gas masks helped us manage it. As we passed through the main hall, we saw two skunks rummaging through the safes. Using his skills, Dobie quickly coordinated our actions. We approached them from both sides, sneaking up to catch them off guard. The skunks, engrossed in their work, didn't notice us until the last moment. Dobie and I simultaneously pounced on them, pinning them to the floor. The struggle was brief, and soon the skunks were securely handcuffed. We led them out of the bank, and the people on the street greeted us with applause.
Of course, I remember that. It's impossible to forget something like that. I still get goosebumps. Well, while you were telling your story, we took down one of the main bosses, the chef of this prison. Up ahead, the final boss awaits us, the belly guy. You've inspired me to share another one of our stories together. I, Sheriff Dobie, and my loyal partner Labrador were in the office when we received a distressing call. On the phone was a crying little girl who claimed that her house was haunted. We couldn't leave her in trouble and immediately headed to the scene. When we arrived, we were greeted by a frightened girl named Susie. She explained that she had been seeing a ghost in her room for several nights. Susie said that the ghost had been especially active last night and even tried to grab her. We entered the house and began our investigation. Suddenly, a ghost appeared before us, barely visible and transparent. We didn't know how to handle it, but then Labrador remembered the bucket of paint we had in the car. An idea came to us. We took the bucket of paint and carefully approached the ghost. Labrador distracted it, pretending to try and catch it, while I, Sheriff Dobie, climbed the stairs holding the bucket of paint. At the right moment, I poured the paint on the ghost. The paint coated it, making it visible. Now we could see the ghost. It was a person covered with a sheet, trying to scare the girl. We saw his hands and quickly handcuffed him. It turned out to be a neighborhood boy who decided to prank Susie, but his joke had gone too far.
It's a great story, Dobie. It seems we're about to come face to face with the main boss. And here is the booth. Very spacious. Let's punch him in the face with fruit.
It looks like to defeat him, we need to shoot at his weapons, those miniguns on his arms. Come on, Sheriff Labrador. We can do this.
Yes, I got that, Dobie, thanks. Could you then give me a weapon as powerful as his? I wouldn't mind having a suit like his either. It would be useful for arresting criminals. We recently got a call about an attack by a giant dumb robot at our station. Hey, you dumb tin can, what are you going to do to us in your suit? If you take off the suit, you're just a regular smelly fat guy.
Come on. While we're killing him, I'll tell you another story. One evening, I was sitting in my office when the phone rang. On the other end was an unfamiliar voice claiming to be a bank employee. He informed me that my bank card had been compromised and that I urgently needed to provide my personal information to protect my funds. Something about his voice and manner immediately raised my suspicions. I decided to play along to gather more information. I pretended to be scared and ready to provide the information he requested. While I was talking to him, my paws quickly dialed the bank's number on another phone, and I learned that there were no issues with my account. Keeping my composure, I started asking him questions to get more details. He didn't know that I was already tracing the call. Soon, I discovered that the call was coming from an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. Realizing that the scammer was using standard tricks, I continued to stall, giving my team time to prepare. We quickly assembled a team and headed to the specified location. When we arrived, I saw a man sitting at a table with a phone and a laptop. He was so engrossed in his scam that he didn't even notice us entering. I approached him and said, "Hello, buddy. Were you calling Dobie?" He jumped up, his face turning pale. He tried to flee, but my team quickly restrained him. At the scene, we found numerous records with personal information of other people he had also tried to scam.
Thanks to everyone who watched. The belly guy got fired and we became guards at this prison. Goodbye, everyone. Hello, dear friends. Today we will be escaping from the evil dog head.
But we won't just be escaping. We need to help the mama cat find her kittens. There are 7 kittens in total.
Don't forget to like the video. Well, let's get started. She says there will be monsters waiting for us, but we already know who they are. Maybe they'll see us and think we're one of them.
I hope we don't find out the answer to that question from inside one of them. But that would be amusing.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
They came out so suddenly, I didn't expect them around the corner at all.
Look, we found a purple key on the ground. That means there's a purple hole nearby. I mean, a purple lock.
We found it. It seems there's a spawn point here for a reason. Let's go in.
Okay, it seems you're right. We need to do some parkour, but if we fall, we'll be eaten by the giant evil dog head.
It's interesting how she got in here, considering the doors are so small.
Oh no, we fell right next to her. Luckily, she's clumsy due to her size. It must be very cramped for her here. I don't think she was put here intentionally. She was probably born and raised here.
I even feel a little sorry for her. It seems she's never even seen sunlight. That's probably why her eyes are red.
Phew, we landed very lucky on another parkour element, so we won't have to go back far.
Yeah, Sheriff Labrador. Luck is one of the main factors in parkour.
It turns out this block falls too. It's fortunate that having good reflexes gives you a chance not to fall.
Reflexes are indeed good, but it seems like it was too slippery there to get a grip.
Yeah, I also wanted to say that I think luck is needed all the time. Not just in parkour, but in life in general.
Rightly observed, Labrador. We've already passed the parkour. Somewhere around here is the lost kitten.
Here he is. Poor thing, sitting in the cage and crying. We need to quickly take him back to his mama cat. He might be hungry.
It seems we're headed into this portal. It wouldn't be cool to go through the parkour again in reverse.
Here's your little one, mama cat. Try not to lose track of them again. Now, let's go find the rest.
I hope this time it won't be as scary to find the key.
I'm afraid, Dobie, they might have gotten even angrier and called their friends so we couldn't rescue the others.
Yeah, let's try going left. Maybe there are fewer of them that way.
Wow, a banana. Maybe it's also some kind of special key.
It looks like it's a lure in case we get hungry.
Oh no, run! There are so many of them that the screen is shaking as they run.
When will we find the key already?
Here it is, finally. We found the key in the door right away.
Oh no, be careful. Go around them along the wall.
We managed to slip through. It's a good thing we're so agile.
I think there's a bone parkour here. I'm afraid to find out whose bones they are from.
Why is there a bone on the left if you can just... I got it. It was a scam.
Labrador, usually when people say scam, they mean an online deception for money.
Well, Dobby, now I know. By the way, what if the bones are here intentionally and they knew we'd come and gnaw on them? Did they think it would be so easy to bait us?
Unlikely. I have only one question. Why did they dress us up as cats? What if they had seen that we were dogs? They wouldn't have been hostile towards us.
Unfortunately, we won't find out because it's impossible to take it off. It's stuck.
I hear some sounds too. We need to get to the source. Maybe it's hypnotism for the kitten.
Perhaps. Here's the source, the head of the evil dog. It seems to be a fake. And in fact, it's a speaker.
It's emitting very strange sounds, as if it's a signal for aliens or a call for other crazy dog heads.
Hooray! Come on, little kitten. We'll take you back to your mom now.
I wonder where the father of these kittens is.
I hope he's safe. And those weren't his bones there.
Here's another kitten. Only 5 left to find.
Let's keep going and search for the keys.
It seems like this isn't a key. Why do we need a toilet?
This is a teleporter. It's strange that it's in the toilet. Maybe we're in the sewer.
Judging by the fact that we just jumped into the water, that's true. Oh, look, it's the evil doghead fish. How does its head not tip over?
It seems we need to somehow navigate around these air currents so we don't get pulled up towards the dogfish.
Yeah, I see a spot where we can swim through. The main thing is not to rush and hold our breath well.
Oops, looks like she can swim. I thought she was just standing still.
Hey, Labrador, what do you think this place is, and how did we end up here?
I have no idea, Dobie. It's definitely weird. Why are mama cat's kittens locked up in cages guarded by the heads of evil dogs? And why do we need to go through all these trials to reach them?
It seems they chose us precisely because they know we're the best sheriffs. Maybe these dogheads were once ordinary, kind dogs, but something went wrong with an experiment. Or they were intentionally made like this. But who and for what purpose could create such a strange place?
Perhaps it's the work of some mad scientist or a group of pranksters. Or maybe it's part of some larger experiment. Regardless, our priority right now is to figure out how to navigate through these challenges and rescue those kittens.
Agreed. It seems that each trial is designed to test our skills and problem-solving abilities. We'll save these kittens and uncover the mystery of this strange place.
Hold the kitten, let's go find the next one.
I hope they're okay and still alive after all this time. But I don't think kittens would taste good. Plus, they're small and bony.
Great, another key. The door must be nearby.
There it is. Hurry up.
All right, what's up this time? These trials are really exciting.
There is a lot of dirt and stones around. Are we underground?
Look, we stepped on some strange material and it disappeared right under our feet. Just hope there's no trap like in Minecraft when you dig below yourself.
I hope the kids aren't claustrophobic. Let's make the atmosphere a little less gloomy by telling the kids a story about how there was a feud between cats and dogs in town. But we managed to band together to prevent something terrible from happening. It was a tense time in our city. Dogs and cats were at each other's throats, constantly bickering and fighting over territory and resources. It seemed like there was no end to the animosity between them.
Indeed, Dobie. The situation was dire. The streets were filled with growls and hisses, and it felt like the city was on the brink of chaos. But then something unexpected happened.
One day, a series of mysterious disappearances occurred. Dogs and cats from all over the city were vanishing without a trace. At first, we thought it was just the usual conflicts escalating, but it soon became clear that something more sinister was at play.
We knew we had to act fast. Despite the long-standing animosity between our two species, we realized that we were all in this together. We couldn't let our differences divide us any longer.
So, we put aside our rivalry and joined forces to investigate the disappearances. Working together was challenging at first, but as we delved deeper into the mystery, we discovered evidence pointing to a common enemy.
Hooray! We saved a kitten! It turns out that a group of rogue animals, neither dog nor cat, was behind the disappearances. They were trying to sow discord among us, using our differences against us to further their own agenda.
But we weren't about to let them succeed. With the help of our fellow dogs and cats, we tracked down the culprits and put an end to their scheme. In doing so, we realized that despite our differences, we were stronger together.
How sneaky! There was an evil doghead waiting for us right behind the door. I'm very glad that now cats and dogs in our city no longer harbor hatred towards each other.
I completely agree with you. Look, we found a door and immediately found the key. Very convenient.
While we were looking for that door, we found another key. Since we found another door as well, let's go through this one.
Labrador, I just remembered another interesting story. I always love spending time in the forest, enjoying nature, and collecting mushrooms. One warm autumn day, I decided to go for a walk in the woods alone. Labrador was busy with city affairs, and I thought some solitude wouldn't hurt. As I walked along the narrow path, I relished the fresh air and the vibrant colors of the autumn leaves. Soon, I stumbled upon a clearing with magnificent white mushrooms, and I began gathering them into my basket. Suddenly, I heard a strange noise coming from deep within the forest and decided to check it out. As I got closer, the forest came alive. The tree branches seemed alive and were moving as if trying to grab me. In a panic, I started looking for a way back, but the path had disappeared. Gathering all my courage, I continued forward, hoping to find a way out.
Oh no, we made a mistake. We've been here before.
Suddenly, I stumbled upon a deep pit filled with water and saw a large bear heading towards it. I froze, not daring to breathe. While the bear drank, I slowly and quietly began to retreat. But one of the branches under my foot snapped, and the bear looked up, staring straight at me. My basket of mushrooms fell from my hands, and I ran. I dashed through the forest, avoiding branches, until I burst onto a familiar clearing where the path leading out of the forest began. My heart was pounding, but I kept running until I reached safety. When I finally emerged from the forest, I was exhausted, but happy to have avoided danger.
Very engaging story with an unexpected twist, Dobie. Thanks for sharing it with us. Well, we found another key and are hurrying to open the penultimate door. Let's hope everything's all right with the kittens.
I see him behind the glass wall. We need to figure out how to reach it.
It looks like we'll have to do some parkour on the rocks. By the way, it really reminds me of the floor is lava mode. Guys, be sure to check out the video about this mode on our channel.
I'd like to take this golden key and melt it down. It could fetch a pretty penny. Something tells me there's a spawn point here for a reason.
You're right, the evil dog ate us.
How I love my job. From the outside, it seems very difficult. To some extent, it is. But when the work is enjoyable for you, all the difficulties seem trivial. It's always fun when you have such a cool partner like you, Labrador.
Very kind words, Dobie, thank you. You're a great partner, too. But it seems like this is the last kitten.
Hold, Mama Cat, never lose your kittens again. Our adventure is coming to an end.
Here we are, finally out of that dreadful place and having done another good deed. It feels so satisfying. Anyway, thanks to everyone for watching. Feel free to suggest more games for us to play in the comments. Like, subscribe, and check out our other videos. But for now, we won't say goodbye.
See you later.
Hello, dear friends. Today, Dobie and I will be playing the scariest map in Roblox, Doors. We are in for a lot of mysterious challenges, and most importantly, we'll be accompanied by various jump scares and a creepy atmosphere throughout the journey. We hope you enjoy watching.
Yes, hello everyone. That's right, Sheriff Labrador. The fans have been asking us to play this map a lot. Thanks to all the likes and comments. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, we've already passed through 2 rooms.
Dobie, finally, we'll test your mettle. You always say you're not afraid of anything, but on all the maps we've played, you've always tucked your tail in fear. Ha ha ha!
Let's focus on the game, Labrador. I hope you didn't forget to put on a diaper yourself.
Look at how many people are with us. I think they, like us, decided to test their nerves. Dobie, how often do you play horror games alone? I get really scared when I'm by myself. It's always less scary with friends.
I don't really like playing alone either. It's definitely calmer with friends. Plus, you can always chat and share interesting stories with friends. It's strange. We're already at the 10th door and haven't encountered a single monster. Maybe the game glitched?
I don't think so, Dobie. These kinds of games love to wait for just the right amount of time, and then a really scary monster suddenly jumps out at you.
Ah, did you see the lights flicker? I think that's a sign that a monster is about to attack.
What? Where did we get teleported to? What should we do? We probably just need to keep moving forward and not look back. It's really scary.
Oh, I get it. We can't just keep moving forward. Let's be careful and watch out for any signs or clues.
Exactly, Dobie. When the turnaround sign appears on the screen, we need to make sure we don't miss it. I hope our whole team handles this monster, or it'll be even scarier alone. By the way, where is everyone? Maybe they got teleported to a nearby room? If that's the case, how does this monster track each player? Maybe there are several of them.
You mean several identical monsters? That's not a bad theory. Maybe we're being teleported to different worlds altogether.
Yes, we defeated the first monster. Looks like our whole team is okay too. Great job, Dobie. It seems there are 2 doors here and only 1 is correct. Do you remember the number of the previous door? It seems it was the 11th door. Oh, there's no 12th door here at all.
I definitely remember that the previous door was number 13. It seems the girl sacrificed herself for our team. Oh no, she's fine. But it must have been painful.
What's that blue light? Could it be another monster attacking us so quickly? I better just walk past as quickly as possible. It's not bothering me anyway. Looks like it was harmless.
We've already encountered 2 monsters. I wonder how many more there are. Please write in the comments. What do you think, Sheriff Labrador? How many doors will we pass today? Judging by our pace, we have a chance to reach the 100th door and beat the game. I really hope so.
I think we'll reach the 50th door. While you were talking, we met an absolutely identical monster with a blue glow. It seems to exist solely to psychologically scare us with its presence. Such jump scares only work on kids. But we've seen worse, haven't we? Perhaps the farther we go, the more frequently we'll encounter monsters. I wonder if it's possible for there to be 10 monsters in one room at once.
Let's keep going. I think we'll encounter a new monster soon. And here comes an attack. The lights are flickering again. Let's run into the closet.
Well, where is it? Was that attack fake and they just scared us? Listen to the sounds. Something cracked, probably the light bulbs.
It seems like we're about to suffocate. We should have practiced holding our breath. Ah, did you see that? Someone just ran by. It's a new monster.
We've already passed 20 rooms, though I don't see one of our team members. Hopefully he'll catch up if you're not dead. Here's a grill. Is this the end? Oh no, it seems we need to do something in the basement to open the gate of the grill. Maybe we need to find something like a button or a lever.
Yes, I think there will definitely be something useful here. Maybe even a flashlight. I think I see a lever behind the grill. Great. He did it.
Let's tell the guys a scary story with an unexpected ending about how you and I went on a spooky quest.
Oh no, just don't remind me of that. I just forgot.
Once I, Sheriff Labrador, along with my partner Dobie, decided to unwind a bit and accept an invitation to a new quest that had opened nearby our precinct. It was called the Labyrinth of Horrors, and we were assured it would be a fun experience. We arrived at the quest, and right at the entrance, we were greeted by an ominous atmosphere. Dim lighting, gloomy decorations, and eerie sounds. But we were confident. What could frighten 2 sheriffs who had been through so many trials?
As we entered the maze, I was full of determination to prove that we weren't easily frightened. The first rooms were amusing, strange sounds and flashes of light. But the further we went, the scarier it became. In one of the rooms, vicious creatures suddenly appeared. Labrador seemed unfazed, but I could feel my heart pounding more and more. It was especially terrifying to encounter a huge wolf that unexpectedly leaped out of the shadows. We kept going, and the tension was mounting. At one of the turns, we were confronted by a group of terrifying clowns, their menacing grimaces and sinister laughter making me flinch. I tried to hold it together, but fear was starting to take over.
In one of the last rooms, just when we thought nothing could be scarier, a huge bear with glowing eyes suddenly leaped out from around the corner. Dobie flinched and I felt him wobble slightly. At that moment, I heard a faint sound and realized that Dobie was genuinely scared. I looked at him and saw a dark stain spreading on his pants, which amused me a lot, but I tried not to show it. We hurried towards the exit, where the quest operator greeted us with a wide smile on his face. We pretended like everything was under control, but I knew that this experience would stay with us for a long time.
Wow, I'd rather forget about it forever, like a bad dream. Why did you record it on video? Now everyone will find out about it. How am I supposed to walk down the street calmly now?
Don't worry, you don't get recognized on the street as often as I do. By the way, do you remember the number of the last door? It was 29, so we should go to the 30th. Hey, girl, this way for us. Open this door.
Oh no, she can't hear you. Write in the chat. But you don't have to write anymore. I hope she survived. Let's just open this door ourselves.
Wow, we found a lockpick. We definitely need to try it out.
My nose is itching. That's not a good sign.
Do you see that? There are scary eyes on the wall. Maybe it's a new monster, and you're not supposed to look at them? Although, we would have died long ago. Let's just keep going.
It suddenly got really dark. The perfect moment to scare us. Did you hear that? Ah!
Phew, that was really scary. I hope you didn't wet yourself, because ahead of us awaits one of the bosses of this map. Seek.
Very funny. You screamed just as loudly as I did. Better prepare yourself mentally. We'll need to run and crawl through obstacles during the battle with the boss.
How do you know all this, Dobie?
To be honest, I've been preparing.
So you wouldn't be scared?
As you can see, it didn't help much.
Here it comes, it's starting. My paws are already sweating. Phew, let's go.
Run, run, run.
Don't worry, Dobie, we got this. The main thing is to stay alert.
I hope we won't get crushed by a wardrobe. Just don't look back or you might trip and fall.
Did you notice that during the boss battle, we also passed through doors because the room number increases?
That's true. It would be nice to make it all the way to the end of the game like this, because this boss is easier than the boss at the 50th door.
The main thing is not to get caught in the fire. Ouch, it seems like I just singed my tail.
Hooray, we did it. Look how we left him behind. He seemed quite slow. Let's tease him, ha ha ha.
Just be careful. The door might suddenly slam shut and we'll be left alone with him.
Looks like he slammed into the door at full speed, but serves him right. It seems like there are fewer and fewer of us, which doesn't make me happy, but it also shows that you and I are doing pretty well. Maybe we really will make it to the last door.
Meanwhile, we're almost to another boss. Figure. Oh, the lights are flickering again, but we already know what to do.
As far as I know, there are 2 types of monsters on this map that you need to hide from in the closet. The first one is Rush, and the second one is Ambush. The difference is that Ambush can fly by several times in a row, and you can't stay in the closet for too long.
Oh no, Dobie, this guy for some reason came out of the closet too early. I feel sorry for him. He probably blinked and thought the monster had already left. Sigh. Minus one more team member. Well, at least we got his lockpicks and lighter. Let's tell the guys an interesting story about how we saved the city from the cunning plan of a mad scientist to infect all electronic devices. This was the time when we, Sheriff Labradors and Dobie, decided to take a break from our usual work and head to the gaming club in the heart of the city. We couldn't afford to relax often, but sometimes we needed a bit of entertainment too. As soon as we entered the gaming club, we were surrounded by the sound of coins, flashing lights, and excited voices. We headed towards the arcade machines, and I noticed an old machine in the corner that always caught my attention.
We forgot about our work and got completely immersed in the world of arcade games. But suddenly, one of the machines malfunctioned. The screen started flickering and occasionally showed strange images that evoked horror and fear. People began to scream and panic.
We immediately realized that something was wrong. Dobie and I decided to check what was happening with this machine. When we approached it, I noticed a strange device connected to its back panel. It seemed to be some kind of signal transmission device.
While we were dealing with this, we received a call from the sheriff's office. It turned out that electronic devices throughout the city had started displaying similar symptoms. We realized that this was not a coincidence, but the cunning plan of some mad scientist.
We rushed to take action. Our top priority was to find this scientist and stop him before he caused even more damage to our city. We used all of our skills and resources to track down his whereabouts.
Thanks to our persistence and cooperation, we managed to find his hideout in an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. He was attempting to activate his device to cause even more chaos, but we thwarted him just in time.
We arrested him and prevented a catastrophe. This incident reminded us that even during leisure time, we must always be vigilant and ready to act when necessary. And although this experience was scary and tense, we were able to overcome it together, like true partners and friends.
Yes, it's wonderful to be a sheriff and have such a loyal and wonderful partner like you. Here we go, Sheriff Labrador. We've reached the next boss. We need to prepare ourselves mentally because it's going to be very challenging.
So, dear friends, this video is coming to an end. If you want to see the continuation of our game, please like and subscribe to the channel. Well, we're not saying goodbye.
See you soon.
Hi, everyone. It's Sheriff Labrador back again, along with my trusty partner, Sheriff Dobie. Today, we've landed ourselves in some serious trouble in Roblox. This is the Escape from Pooh Boy's prison mode. Imagine this. We've been locked up in a prison full of living mutant poop monsters. And believe me, these aren't just regular poop. They're real monsters that want to catch us and keep us here forever. So smash that like button if you don't want to end up in the hands of these weird creatures, and let us know in the comments who you think will escape first. So, Dobie, are you ready?
Hey, everyone. Yeah, Labrador, this is definitely not the kind of prison you'd want to end up in, even in your worst nightmares. According to the story, these Pooh Boys are failed experiments. Scientists tried to create super compost, but instead, they got living creatures that have now taken over the whole lab and turned it into a prison. Their main goal is to make sure no one escapes, so no one finds out they exist. Our tasks are simple. Find the keys, solve the puzzles, and escape before these mutants catch us.
The mode starts with us waking up in locked cells in some kind of underground lab. Hear those noises? That's the Pooh Boys wandering the corridors, making strange gurgling sounds and looking for us. We need to escape through ventilation shafts, hide behind crates, and avoid their gaze. They can change shape and turn into ordinary objects to catch us off guard.
Exactly, Labrador! And they can stretch and squeeze through the tiniest spaces, so just running away won't be enough. This place is full of traps. Floors can suddenly collapse, ceilings drop down, and doors slam shut right in your face. And to get further, we need to find special keys and access cards scattered throughout the complex. But remember, every time we pick up a key, one of the Pooh Boys gets angrier and starts chasing us faster.
And there are tons of creepy puzzles. For example, to open one of the doors, we had to connect wires in the correct sequence, but as soon as we started, Pooh Boys began slowly filling the room. We had to work quickly, or they'd catch us. And every time we find a new item, we have to stay alert. These mutants can attack at any moment.
Yeah, and they can also release a nasty gas that blocks our view and slows us down. And you know what, Labrador? These mutants aren't just guarding the exits, they're protecting something much bigger. Eventually, we found out that in the heart of the complex, there's a big pipe that they can use to escape into the city. We not only have to escape ourselves, but we also need to stop them from escaping, or everyone will find out about these monsters.
And guess what, friends? Deep inside the lab, we found records from scientists who tried to stop these mutants, but couldn't in time. They left us clues and codes, but to get to them, we had to go through rooms filled with slime and acid. These Pooh Boys don't like it when we dig into their past and start going crazy when we get close to the truth.
And at the very end, there's a huge boss, the King of Pooh Boys, who looks like a giant heap with eyes and tentacles. To defeat him, you need to activate all the buttons around and lure him into a trap. But that's easier said than done. Every time we press a button, he releases a wave of his tiny minions to chase us.
Friends, your support means everything to us. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss our next Roblox adventures. And tell us in the comments if you have any tips on how to escape from these creepy mutants. With your help, we're definitely going to escape from this prison and defeat the King of Pooh Boys.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember, together we're strong. Likes, subscriptions, and your comments are our keys to success. Let's head to freedom, Labrador. We'll definitely get out of this horrible place and defeat all the Pooh Boys.
Dobby, you won't believe what I just heard. Our city is facing something so crazy, I didn't believe it at first. It looks like the evil scientist, Dr. Stink, is back at it again. This time, he's invented some device that brings poop to life. Yes, you heard me right, Dobby. Animated poop is now crawling all over the city, scaring people and animals. I heard they stink so badly that no one can even get close to deal with them. The streets are emptying out, people are afraid to leave their homes, and kids are in a total panic. We need to deal with this insane invention fast, or our city will turn into the stinkiest trap in the world. Do you have any ideas on how to handle this?
Labrador, I thought we'd seen it all, but this is definitely beyond the realm of possibility. Animated poop and under Dr. Stink's control, no less. It's a total disaster. You know what's even stranger? These creatures don't just stink. They move in an organized way, like they have some sort of goal. Yesterday, I saw one trying to climb onto a bus stop and another rolling down the road, causing a traffic jam. We need to quickly track down the source of this mess. I'm sure there's a main control center somewhere, or else none of this would make any sense. And of course, Stink will be guarding it. But if we can destroy that center, we might be able to stop them all at once. For now, maybe we should try using gas masks. They might help us deal with the stench at least a little bit.
Great idea, Dobby. Gas masks could at least help us get started, but we have to be ready for anything. These animated poop soldiers seem to act like little soldiers. They move in groups and seem to be searching for something. If it's true that Stink is controlling them, then he has a plan. I think the first thing we should do is find out where they're coming from. I suspect he might have hidden his lab somewhere in the sewers or some other place no one would want to search. We need to split up and search all potential hideouts. Just be careful. If they attack, it won't be pretty to say the least. What do you think? Where should we start? Maybe check the old dump or the abandoned factory?
I agree, Labrador. He probably picked a place that stinks as much as his army. Let's start with the abandoned factory. There are old pipes and huge tanks there. It's the perfect place to hide something like this that no one would think to look for. But I have a feeling Stink didn't just animate poop for no reason. He clearly wants to scare the entire city so no one will try to stop his plans. Maybe he's developing something even more dangerous, and these animated poop creatures are just a distraction? We need to stay on our toes and be ready for anything. Let's grab gas masks and chemical detectors to find the source faster. Ready to go, Labrador? If all goes well, we'll stop them today.
Right on, Dobby. The abandoned factory is the best place to start our search. And if you're right, and this is just a distraction, then we don't have much time. Stink is clearly up to something big, and these animated monsters are just the beginning. I hope we can find and neutralize him before he moves on to the next phase of his plan. Let's move quickly and quietly. Once we find the entrance to his lab, we'll proceed with caution. We need to shut down all his machines and capture Stink himself. Maybe we can not only stop him, but also find out why he's doing all this. Ready? Let's go. Time's ticking.
Ready, Labrador. The factory sure is creepy, and the stench gets worse with every step. Look, there's a door up ahead with warning signs. That's gotta be his lair. Opening it up. Wow, just look at this. Machines, pipes, and everything's covered in some kind of sludge. And there they are, the poop creatures right in the center, as if they're charging up from these machines. This must be the device that's animating them. Labrador, do you see how they're crawling around? We need to shut this down immediately. I see a control panel with switches. I'll try to turn it off. Cover me, just in case.
Got it, covering you. But be careful. They're starting to move faster, like they sense we're close to shutting them down. Did it work? Yes. Great job, Dobby. The machines are off. Look, the poop creatures are slowing down and just disintegrating. Excellent work, partner. But wait, what's that blinking over there on the table? It's probably the control system for all these devices. Let's grab it and take it back to the station to figure this out. And don't forget to seal this whole place up. No one should ever get in here again and restart this crazy program. We did it, Dobby. The city is safe again.
Great job, Labrador. We shut down that stinky army and saved our city from even more chaos. Let's pack up this equipment and get it to a safe place so no one can ever repeat what Stink did. He may be a genius, but he's no match for us. You're right. The city is safe again thanks to our team. Now we can take a little break, at least until the next call. Who knows what Dr. Stink or someone else will come up with next? But whatever it is, I know we'll handle it.
Okay, Dobby, we didn't end up in this situation for nothing. I can see the boss robot is gearing up for a new attack. His arm guns are about to start firing in a few seconds. We need to be careful not to get caught in the crossfire. And remember, destroying those guns is our key to victory. I'll distract him, and you focus on getting to the guns to break them. Ready?
Got it, Labrador. I'm always up for a challenge. I'll look for ways to bypass the defenses. I see the guns are starting to prepare for firing, so it's my moment. Go ahead and keep him occupied while I try to get to his back to reach the weapons. Time to show this robot that we have not only strength, but skill.
Good job, Dobby. Keep breaking it down while I make sure the robot doesn't catch on to our plan. It looks like his guns are pretty damaged already. He seems frustrated, but that's to our advantage. Make sure no part is left intact. If you can, try to take out both guns at once so he doesn't have a chance to counterattack.
It's working! One of the guns exploded, and the second one is following suit. Now the robot is unarmed and clearly panicking. It's time to finish him off and end the fight. We did it, Labrador. We succeeded, and now we can collect our reward and relax. Great job!